Okay, it's 3 o'clock, and our next committee of the day is the Budget and Finance Committee. Those committee members are Lombardo, Amobian, Fusco, Boyes, and Bolden. We do have all committee members present whenever you're ready, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Clerk Viviano. We are ready for the Budget and Finance meeting. First, I'd like to get an approval of last week's
So moved.
minutes. Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
There you go. All right, two items coming before us. The first being an ordinance authorizing the Director of Law or her designee to enter into a contract or contracts without the formality of publicly advertising for bids for the provision of professional services necessary or attendant to the provision of legal services to the City of Akron during the year 2026 and declaring an emergency. So we have several people in chambers, but we'll start off with Mr. Mike Wheeler.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So a couple years back, we began, this is kind of in conjunction with how we started bringing all contracts to council due to some changes with the budget ordinance a few years back. This is now an annual piece that we do that authorizes the legal services on behalf of the city, and we do have Deputy Director of Law, Mr. Angeloni, here to talk about it.
Thank you. Hi, Brian.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Chairperson and members of the committee. So again, before you, this is sort of what has become kind of our standard annual legal services contract. It's not just legal services, it's services attendant to the rendering of legal services, if that makes sense. So we're talking about anything from expertise in specific things like PUCO matters, to experts that we need to retain to get advice, or as part of a case that we're litigating, we bring in, they provide expert testimony, reporting, things like that. So this before you encompasses a wide swath of different things. It's not just attorney's fees, if you will.
Okay.
So that's what this represents.
Okay, thank you very much. Do we have any questions from committee members or other council members? I don't see anybody online, but we have Councilwoman Linda Amobian.
So this is just enough money for you to, this is for the whole year or just for, because it's what, it's $2 million, right?
Correct. And I would note for the committee that this amount of money is kind of a maximum, right? This is a ceiling. So we don't anticipate spending this much. And in the past, again, we've stuck with similar amounts. We've spent nowhere near that. You know, again, I can say, for example, last year, we ended up encumbering about $738,000 of the $2 million, and only ended up expending out of this particular legislation around $194. Again, that's just rough numbers. I could get you more detailed. Actually, Mr. Wheeler and Mr. Fricker could get you actual numbers, but that's roughly what we're talking about.
And when we do the budget hearings, we'll hear more about the money they spent last year and what they're proposing this year and all of that. And the different line items, operating budget.
Yeah.
Yes, we've typically had an exhibit that is in response to council's questions about legal costs throughout the course. So we've actually prepared a cost spreadsheet for 2025 right now.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very much.
I don't,
You looking for a motion?
well, I was going to ask, what would be your pleasure this afternoon for this piece of legislation?
Consent agenda would be
Consent?
fine.
Okay.
Move.
Oh, I'm sorry. Before we have this, we do have one other question.
One quick
Councilman
question.
Bolden.
So this is for $2 million. If it goes over that, you have to come back to this. It's not or not.
Yeah, and so to be
It doesn't say not to exceed, but we'll just
no,
take
certainly anything above that would exceed $50,000, certainly we would come back to council. But also, I would anticipate, and we have done this in the past, to the extent that we have other specific, nuanced areas of representation. Like, for example, if we're doing environmental work with a firm, and we would anticipate that being in excess of $50,000, we would come back to you separately. That would be a complete.
Just want to make sure.
Yep, absolutely.
Thanks.
Okay. Now can I get a motion for consent?
Motion for consent.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Very good. consent agenda it is. Thank you very much, Mr. Angeloni. Our second item this afternoon is an ordinance authorizing the mayor or his designee to enter into a contract or contracts with Woolpert Incorporated without the formality of publicly advertising for bids for the implementation of new CityWorks processes necessary to modernize internal business procedures and declaring an emergency. Mr. Wheeler.
Thank you. So this piece of legislation will allow us to work with Woolpert to really modernize our inspection process for the Housing Division and Neighborhood Assistance. Last year, they were deployed tablets that have been kind of going to do their work on a pilot program. This is really to implement the next phase of that and get everything into the standard work order system that we use through CityWorks. So that way it's kind of cohesive throughout the city. With us, we have Mr. Darren Rozenek, our Chief Technology Manager, and he can answer any specific questions regarding the technology in the project.
Okay. Welcome. Would you like to give any opening comments?
Just to let you all know that this is part of the work that the mayor had asked for the housing compliance. We did deploy devices to them. We did build their inspections, so they have the capabilities of doing that. That was early to mid last year when that happened. This is basically an extension to bring in the rest of their compliance and business processes into a more modern system and to really help support that digital transformation for their workflows.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Questions from committee members or other council members? Mr. Bolden?
Yeah, thank you. A couple questions. So this is going to be internal only? Will this be able to facilitate anything as far as the rental registration to update that rather than sending out a whole bunch of letters and hoping people get back? Can we do things where that would be done online and we can pay online? And with that, also look at the short-term rentals? Can this all be encapsulated with CityWorks, or is it going to be, do we need additional programs?
The short terms are a little different, so we can talk about those a little separately. The rest of their business process is absolutely. Part of the scope of this is to help solve that gap that we know we have. This is the same system that Planes and Permits uses, so there are opportunities there to merge workflows, to kind of make them work in conjunction a little better. A lot of that will get flushed out in the business process, and you know, that's Dwayne Greger and that group as part of the design of this.
Will it tie into like Summit County GIS and things like that, so we can find out if the landlord is local, if they're not local, where they are?
Yeah, this is, CityWorks is completely GIS-centric system, so tie into the county parcel cards, owner data, all of that is the same as any other system that we have. And this is also our 311 as well. So we are really building a holistic ecosystem into CityWorks across many different business platforms, which is part of this push as well. It's to kind of consolidate and save money over time by bringing in a lot of institutional departments into a single platform.
Great. I've just been tasked with chairman of housing, so I'd like to be kept up to date, and if anything I can do
Absolutely.
to help, it would be great.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
So on that note, with the short term, that is something that, as you're probably aware, does rely heavily on third-party websites like Airbnb or VRBO or something of that sort. So we do have to kind of look at a different solution that we can potentially integrate.
And I might be able to help with that.
Very good. Councilwoman Boyce.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Go ahead, Tina.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just wanted to remark that I was able to take the training, the CityWorks training that was offered before the holidays, and it was exceptional. And I really think, you know, especially as council members, it's really difficult to find information without having to call people and take them off of their task. The more information we can get into CityWorks that we can access. And you brought up, Councilman Bolden, an interesting point. You know, even like our property registries, our what do you call it, landlord and property owner registries. I don't want to have to call Dwayne to say, hey, who's the local contact on this property so I can call them about that trash. So the more we can put into the system, the better. And I just want to thank
And that is absolutely part of this. You know, a large part of this is to kind of de-silo information. So that's some of the initiative that we're talking about here as well.
Good. I'm going to go right here, Councilwoman Linda Mobian.
Just a quick question. You mentioned Airbnbs. This will generate a list? Do we have a way of finding out?
This will not generate a list for that.
Okay.
We're saying that will be a separate kind of function in the future.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Councilman Fusco? Nope, nothing? Okay. What would be your pleasure this afternoon?
If we could pass this on consent.
Consent? Very good. Can I get a motion for consent?
Second.
And a second. Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Very good. Consent agenda.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time this afternoon. With that, our Budget and Finance meeting is adjourned.
We'll get started with capital budget review in just a few minutes. Thank you.
It is? No, we're not waiting, Helen Tomic. We're not waiting for you. Oh, thank you. we go. I think we're covering, I'm not even sure today what we're covering. I know it's everything else other than utilities, I think. Okay, we'll begin the, excuse me, Planning Committee Capital Budget Review. Roll call, please.
Fusco.
Aye.
Hamer. Connor. Boyes.
Aye.
Hannah. You do have a quorum of the committee.
Thank you. We're going to cover everything within the budget, excluding the public utilities and economic development. Today, that's the goal, to get through everything. We're going to stick to the issues that are before us in terms of the line items that are available that we're going to be speaking about, and we're going to stick to that. And we'll recognize folks as like at the end of a page or end of a section altogether, but I'll be kind of trying to keep an eye on everyone, so if somebody has something out, just raise your hand, I'll try to recognize you. So those are the procedures that we're going to follow today. So with that, I reckon we're just going to go ahead and get started. I assume Helen or Kyle are going to kick us off here.
Welcome. Chair Fusco, President Somerville, members of council. So day two, we're going to begin with transportation. And Chris Jonke from the Engineer Bureau is going to lead us.
The one thing we found helpful, and it's a new addition, which is we're appreciative of, and that is the line item that are the line items that are numbered. So we'll try to recognize that along the way. It makes it a little easier to keep up, I think, for a lot of us that have problems keeping up. So with that, Chris, please.
Very good, thank you. Good afternoon. Jumping right in, East Cuyahoga Falls Avenue, we will be
Sorry,
starting.
page 9.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
Line item number 1.
Page 9, number 1, so.
East Cuyahoga Falls Avenue, we will be restriping and putting in 84 new curb ramps there and a couple of mid-block crossings. We were able to snag a special grant from ODOT to cover 80% of that work. Home Avenue, this is a full-depth pavement reconstruction project that we will be starting in mid-2026. The line 3, excuse me, the Howard Glenwood intersection, we would like to do a safety study there. This project has consistently showed up very high on AMATS's crash lists.
It's a hill?
I'm sorry?
Is that on a hill?
Yes, it is.
Quite a hill.
Yeah, we've really seen an uptick in working with APD on traffic reports or crash reports.
It's dangerous.
With the Route 8 and, but even before that, there has been and with people coming down the hill at certain speeds, it's a very dangerous intersection.
Cool. Thank you.
Number 4, the Merriman Valley Mobility Study. This will be traffic studies to support the area master plan. North Main Street Complete Streets, this is a carryover project currently in construction. Number 6, South Main Street, this is the last phase of the downtown corridor of Main Street. We are looking to start full improvement, or excuse me, pavement replacement in July of this year. Line item number 7, the annual bridge inspection, mandated inspections, part of our budget every year. Number 8, the Bowery Street Bridge over the canal, currently in construction. This is a carryover. The surface, I believe, should be open by the end of this month, but with everything underneath, we've got at least 8 months more of work there. Number 9, the high-level bridge. This is the city's share of the Summit County construction project. Okay.
Any questions? You want to stop by page, or how do you want to do it, sir?
Okay, I see Fran Wilson and then Phil Lombardo.
Thank you. Regarding number 4, Merriman Valley Mobility Study, obviously very important project. Ward 1 neighbors are interested and excited. I just want to, it'll include the full area of the master plan. It'll include towpath trail as well. I'm hoping that intersection down there.
Yes, it will. It's going to concentrate on the traffic portions of it, so it will be Portage Path, Merriman, Portage Trail. It will also look at adding some more internal structure to those streets. We were looking at something that would connect Portage Trail and Portage Path, I believe, to get folks around easier. But yeah, the short answer is yes.
Okay, Phil Lombardo?
Thanks, yes. Regarding that Howard-Glenwood intersection, so, again, I'm no traffic engineer, but I've never seen a roundabout on a hill, or, I mean, what's the other option, like a traffic light on a hill? So what are the options? Just those two, maybe?
Having that slope issues, you're very correct, is an issue. And we will have to dig deeper into that. Of course, it's always better to be flat, better sight distance and things like that, but that doesn't preclude a roundabout. It doesn't preclude a traffic signal, but those things, that's a major part of the study.
I was thinking maybe you can only have them turn right or something only, because
That's
I'm
a
sure
possibility.
that's-
I mean, you hate to restrict something like that, but if nothing else is possible, sure.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Thank you. Further questions? None? Very good. We're on page 10?
11.
11, thank you.
Line item 10, the High Street Viaduct rehabilitation. This is for design only in 2026. We are looking at construction in 2027. We did receive a federal grant for the construction portion. Kent Street Bridge is a carryover project. That project has actually been completed, and this is just the final billing. Number 12, South Main Street Bridge over CSX. This project is currently in design. These numbers here assume we can get construction started this year. University Avenue Bridge is actually being managed by Summit Metro Parks. This is a carryover, but it includes a number of work items that the city needs to repair that bridge.
What's, excuse me, BR under item 12, what's that funding source? I was going to try to look it up.
BR is bridge, federal bridge money.
Okay, thank you.
Bridge replacement.
So it's federal funds that are, okay, thank you.
Correct. Number 14, Bellawood Drive improvements, also a carryover. That work should be finished up this summer. Line item 15, traffic calming. This has become kind of a standard under our budget. A number of things are included here, speed tables, crosswalks, et cetera. Wendling Drive?
I will.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
1 second. We would like to offer like almost a separate presentation just on traffic calming. If you would be inclined, we could pick a committee and we could pick a day where we could give a whole presentation.
How long should that take?
3 days.
I would think it depends how many questions, but about a half hour.
Okay.
Yep.
We'll talk about it.
Yep.
Thank you for offering that. But there will be probably questions today, just
Yep.
for the record, in terms of the budget. So go ahead.
I've already been through that, so I met with him earlier.
Okay. Anyone have any questions referencing traffic calming? Fran Wilson?
I know we might have another presentation, but how much of this is rollover from last, is any of it carryover from last year?
I think we spent that, didn't we?
I don't think we spent it all. I believe this is just the standard 500,000. So I think we did buy some equipment. I'll get those numbers for you, though.
Okay. Did you say you didn't spend it at all last year?
I'm not sure what traffic engineering did, because some of the stuff we ordered did not come in before we got it installed. So let me see where we're at.
Okay. I know a lot of residents have talked about speed tables in my area, so.
Yeah, and we're looking, that I think we're moving away from the temporary installation because it costs so much and what it does to the road. I mean, to put one down is 300 holes. You got to drill in, you got to use the bolts, then you got to take it up and fix it. So we would like to go more to a permit asphalt, which we will put in our bid documents for resurfacing. So we did get the one installed on Hillbush. They will put one on Battles this year that did not get done last year. And then obviously we have the one on Maple that we're studying too, because it seems like people are still hitting our fire station, okay? But we're looking at that also.
Eric Garrett?
Thank you, Chair. Mr. Director Little, did we mention the Wellington Hazel, or is that part of the feature?
That's part of it. That's part of it. I think it's on our list this year.
Okay,
Yep.
thank you.
Yeah, if we could, during the presentation that we may or may not have, we will have, could you give us like the last 3 years of expenditures, where, what,
Yep,
so
sure.
we have a good snapshot. I don't know how many years we've had this within the budget. 4? 5? Okay. Time passes quickly whenever you're controlling traffic or trying to. So yeah, 3 ought to be good enough, unless somebody wants to see 5, we could do that. But yeah, we'll.
Sure. I mean, recently, I think some of the real improvements that come out of this is some of the studies we've done, like on Diagonal, like on Archwood, where we had 25, then it goes to 35, then it goes back to 25, making that whole corridor 25.
Right.
Slowing the
Yeah.
people down. I think we're looking at Howard Street. It's another one, 25, 35, 25. So that's part of this too. So we're doing studies, and then obviously we come to you for those changes, because that's a change, and you've always supported those changes when we look at those neighborhoods.
I know Fran Wilson's very much aware in terms of that Ward 1, that Maple Street, which is amazingly difficult to try to slow them down. I don't know what has to be done there, but hopefully we can make it safer. Okay, with that, I think we're going to move on to item 16 on page 11,
Yep.
Wendling Drive.
Wendling Drive, a full asphalt pavement reconstruction that will start a little later this year.
Okay, Bruce Bolden has a question.
Quick question, it says there, we know we're going to do Wendling Drive and the cost to do that, but also other streets and neighborhoods, patch and match, because we all know how bad that neighborhood is. Do we know what streets or where we're going yet? Obviously, it's hard to tell in the winter, and wait to see.
Oh, we have a list, I just don't have it in front of us.
No problem.
Yep.
And this will be assessed the same way.
Correct.
If you do a portion of the street, everybody's going to be assessed split it up
by front foot of what they own.
Got it, okay. I just want to make sure. Might want to have a meeting up there before we do that again.
Sure.
So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Fran Wilson.
Just a quick question. Is any of this carryover? Because I noticed this exact same amount and sourcing in last year's budget.
That was budgeting. That was planning and design, I believe.
Yeah, we were hoping to start construction last year, but we're waiting on the funding to come through.
For Wendling Drive, we had $50,000 last year for design.
It was design only. That's what I remember. Thank you.
And we had to wait, because we got the funding from OPWC, you can't start till after July 1st. That's when that funding cycle starts.
How do you remember that? Okay.
If you spend it too early, Mr. Fricker, I will tell you what it says.
You remind me. That's how you remember. Good answer. Page 12, item 17.
So this is our annual resurfacing. We talked about it at a committee today. Today with us, and I don't know how many of you know Phil, but Phil Golden, please stand up. Phil's our public works supervisor. Phil's managed this program for the last few years. He's done a fantastic job, and he's worked on this. He's also the gentleman in the snow center directing the trucks from midnight to noon, and then while he's also managing this. So Phil and Anthony Dowley and John Malish has done a great job with this, and we're continuing to look at more innovative ways and some of the things we can do in-house, as we stated. So I just wanted everybody to put some eyes on Phil. So
Thank you all for what you do, and as you know, you're judged by every snow event, so. And no, in all sincerity, though, thank you for everything you guys do. I know it's a lot for our city. Thank you. Well, we could,
18.
is there any questions referencing? We do, let's go ahead and go to VOTM, I guess.
18.
Yeah, concrete
Well, that's
pavement
concrete,
rehab
yeah,
program
thank
number 18. Our annual program, we will be patching pavement actually all over the city this year. We're going to cover all wards.
There'll be something in every ward, and we'll get to that list. So we do worst first. And I shouldn't say worst first, because if you look at phase 3 of South Main, that's beyond patch and match. That's why we have to do a total rehab. So some of those streets are beyond their useful life, and we can't patch and match. So the ones that we can in each ward, you're going to see a little bit in each ward this year.
Okay. I see there's special assessments attached to this.
Yes, sir.
So that means that the saw cut the bad stuff, for lack of a better term, and then,
So if we do a block and there's 10 slabs or 5 slabs or 3 slabs, and let's say we take that up, then we spread it out all the property owners, because they all reach a benefit because they use that portion of the street.
right. Okay. What percentage is that, if you don't mind me asking, of a total project?
Of a total project,
Yeah, what percentage? And you can get back to me on that one. I'm just curious.
I mean, if you look at this funding right here, it looks like it's about 1.7 and it's 400,000, so, 20%.
Good, thank you. Good answer.
Number 19, ODOT resurfacing of VOTM. This is an ODOT-led resurfacing, but the city is obligated to pay a portion of that, as well as build curb ramps.
Okay.
That will start construction in the spring.
And they're managing that whole project. So that's 11 miles of resurfacing, but only about 3 in the city. And then once you hit the corp line out by Roman Road, then it's all Norton.
Okay, gotcha,
Okay.
yeah.
Yep.
Cool, thank you.
20, Talmadge Avenue ODOT resurface, very similar to VOTM. Again, we'll have to pay our portion of the resurfacing and curb ramps. This is likely to start construction in 27.
So this is from Route 8 by Fire Station 7 and all the way out to the corp line at Britton Road. Route 8 all the way out to Britton Road on Talmadge.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm envisioning, and I'm just trying to think. It seems as though that there may be some confusion on the bridge there on 8. I don't know, Phil.
We're going to
in terms of
restripe,
the
we're going to
bike
restripe it,
lanes?
yes. We went down to 1 lane and with the semis coming off, going east, so we put it back to 2 lanes. So it's going to get restriped as soon as the weather breaks.
Perfect, thank you.
You're welcome.
Capiche?
Capiche.
Okay.
It needs erased, like, the
Yeah.
striping needs to be better graded out or something.
Go ahead, Chris.
Okay, cool.
Number 21, the Akron Peninsula Multi-Use Trail. We are looking to start construction the second half of 26.
Oh, the TIF. So where's that going to go again?
That goes from
Riverwoods.
the Riverwoods Public Reserve down to West Portage Trail. Since it's going in and out of the city limits, Cuyahoga Falls will be helping us with that.
Okay, is it only going to be on the west side only? Okay.
We are
Yeah.
actually not 100% sure yet. We're looking at property and we're looking at utilities.
So it might be the.
It could be the other side. We haven't definitely defined it yet.
Interesting.
Yes.
And then we're going to put the bridge in here next year, right? Bad joke, sorry.
I didn't get it.
No, the bridge across the river.
Yeah, right.
Bad joke, like I said. Okay, well, let's proceed here.
2022 is our annual sidewalk program. I mean, since council has bumped this to $1 million, we have slowly kept pace, and we're actually, with the request that we have been returned, the petition, it's a petition process, we send them, they send it back, we verify it. We feel with this funding, we can get everything done with everybody's requested up to about September of 2025. So to be, less than 6 months behind is remarkable. A couple years ago, we were like 3 years behind.
Yes, we were. Good job, thank you.
Number 23, the Safe Streets and Roads for All improvements. We received a federal grant to study a number of high crash areas in the city of Akron. The two areas we're looking at are Copley Maple, that corridor, as well as Triplet Arlington over on the southeast end of town.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear your first.
The Copley Maple corridor.
Okay, thank you.
Very good. Page 13, right?
That's it for transportation.
Yeah. Parks and Recreation.
You got Why don't you go here? That way I can help if I need to.
Mr. Lash, welcome.
Mr. Chair, Madam President, members of council, I'm here to discuss the 2026 Capital Investment Community Development Program for Parks and Recreation. And as you see here, the proposed investment is $6,178,986. So as you have heard and can read, that the City of Akron manages 162 parks, which encompasses 1,500 acres. And this capital budget provides $1.2 million for the Rubber City Heritage Trail, Phase 2, project which will utilize a 6-mile rail corridor formerly used by the rubber companies. There's $600,000 allocated to community centers, parks, capital improvements, which includes HVAC systems, lighting, fencing, flooring, and more. There's $160,000 to invest in the construction of a restroom at the Elizabeth Park splash pad, which some of you actually attended when we actually did the groundbreaking some time ago, and $100,000 to build the esports program rooms at Lawton Street and the Lawton Street Judge Williams Community Center and Joy Park Community Center, which we're very proud of. So we're looking forward to that. I'll go through the individual expenditures, and you can follow with me. We're actually looking to invest $150,000 in the Akron Parks Challenge, looking to invest $70,000 in the City Wildlife Meadow and Habitat Restorative Initiative. We're looking to invest $100,000 in the court resurfacing program, also $160,000 in the Elizabeth Park splash pad, which I just mentioned. The esports gaming rooms, we're actually looking to invest $100,000. For the gorge dam removal, looking to invest $800,000. And for higher park improvements, we're looking to invest $150,000.
Any questions from anyone on any of those whatsoever? Yes, Mr. Bolden? Bruce Bolden.
Thank you. Parks Challenge, it's a great program, really is. I know Corona Park was one of the two that won that last year. But they also had in the 5-year plan another $150,000 a portion of that would really be greatly appreciated to be added to that. It's kind of like they got penalized because they won the Parks Challenge, which is a little frustrating for the neighbors as they look at it. And I don't know if there's any way to get some of that, or maybe if we can do some improvements through miscellaneous parks. They have a budget, and they're a little over budget at $150,000. And that park has kind of been, I don't want to say neglected, but it's just one of those parks that doesn't get a lot of, we did get some things through, help through Public Works and putting in the swing set and help out with that, but could use some more help there. I'm just throwing that out right now.
Well, thank you for raising that.
I'll be coming back at you.
Sure. Thank you for raising that, Councilman. And I don't know if I will defer to my team in front of me to speak to that, but I don't know if they have anything to share, but point taken.
Okay, thank you.
Okay? We're going to move forward.
Questions?
Mr. Chair, just one
Yes,
question.
Margot Somerville.
Thank you so much. Are we planning on only doing one park? Because it's 150,000, typically it's 100 apiece, right?
We are going to do just one this year to get some catch up, get finished out with the existing projects, as well as do some outreach, having the collaborative do some outreach on our behalf to help us to craft a parks plan as well. So we kind of just want to, so we don't get into a situation where we're too much backlog.
Yeah, appreciate that. If we can also get a list too of parks that have not yet been touched, that still need some investment.
Sure.
And one of my biggest concerns is we've invested a lot of money through Parks Challenge, but there really is no plan in terms of maintenance of those parks.
Absolutely.
So
Totally
appreciate
understand.
it.
We could do
Thank
that.
you.
Thank you.
Tina Boyes?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just wanted to quickly shout out the Meadows project. Leah Heiser did a great presentation to us in Ward 9. This is an exceptional way to save money on the public service side as well as on the nuisance side. So I just want to continue to have that conversation about how to, leverage what's successful here to help, save some money over on our, larger properties such as one you may know of over in Ward 9.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And that's going to be a continued conversation that we'll continue to explore as well. You're welcome.
Eric Garrett?
Thank you, Chair. The Park Challenge is a phenomenal program, but last year, Shabandi Hills, I think, was the recipient there. How's that going in terms of the completion on that? Do we have an idea of how that's moving along by chance?
I know there have been some repairs done or some updates after the challenge, but I'll defer to my team as to how many additional things have been added.
Further questions?
No.
Okay, all right. Let's go ahead and move on.
You'll get back with me on that? Okay.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Oh, okay. Good?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Continuing on for the Kent Street Middlebury Park, we're looking to invest $130,000 into that project. Lanefield track improvements, we're looking to invest $50,000. Within Lawton Street Community Center, the design of the pickleball courts, we're looking to invest $20,000. The Little Cuyahoga River restoration and Low Head Dam removal, we're looking to invest $2,230,000 into that project. For miscellaneous community centers, we're looking to set aside and invest $300,000. Miscellaneous parks, $300,000 as well. When it comes to parks, lighting, and public spaces, we're looking to invest $75,000. The Rubber City Heritage Trail Phase 2, there's a total of $1,248,204, and you see the breakdown underneath that line item.
Yes, thank you. I have a question for
Sure.
Wilson.
Sorry to interrupt the page. I just wanted to highlight, I'm really happy to see the number 35 miscellaneous community centers at Balch Street is in there. I just want to highlight there's a prime AE assessment that I imagine some of your staff and you have read from 2022 labeling no heat in certain areas of the building. That's where we have our ward meeting is the room without heat. And there's also a lot of pooling on the roof. And, this is a full budget breakdown that's a little out of date, but I just really want to, Ward 1, that's our, our premier community spot. There's a gym there, there's an indoor pool there. Yes. We really need more focus on there. And I would just love to see a general increase in community centers. I don't know if that's something we can all talk about, but like Balch Street, a lot of our community centers really need more investment than 300, in my opinion. I just wanted to vocalize that and share my personal opinion, if that's okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. I don't see any more questions.
Okay. Continuing on.
Sorry, Margot Somerville has a question.
Sorry.
Lanefield, can we get an update on that? So $50,000 is going to complete all the improvements?
No, it's not. But this is
I think we've been seeing 50,000 for a couple years.
We've had a few meetings with some of the stakeholders in that area, and that's one of the commitments that we've made to that particular area for this year. I know that there are several other needs that need to be addressed, but we have committed to at least that. But I know that it is ongoing, and we will try to continue to see how we can accomplish those things going forward.
Okay, because I just want to say the track is in really
bad condition. And I've said before, a lot of our seniors use the track. I mean, there's holes. If someone were to trip, to me, it seems like it would definitely be a liability. So just asking that we can address that.
Thank you.
So there's been commitments that we'll spend 50,000 or more?
Yes.
This year, or more, or 50,000 or more?
It's 50,000 that I know I can speak to.
Okay.
That's
I'm
what I
just
can.
curious, in case we have to find.
Correct.
Thank you.
Moving on, the Rubber City Heritage Trail Phase 3, the investment will be $170,782, and you see the breakdown underneath there. The Silver Maple Ridge Green Space, $50,000, and then Summit Lake ODNR lease, the investment is $75,000.
I wonder where that's at, Silver Maple Ridge Green. Is that 19, Silver Maple? Where's that located at, the Silver Maple Ridge?
Dan Street, it's
Habitat project.
on the west end of the Habitat project off Dan Street.
Oh, yeah, okay, gotcha. Okay, sorry, I forgot. CD, so this is going to be for the public park that we talked about within that development, is that it?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So we're on 15 public facilities, is that right?
Yes, I'm going to have Travis Capper, our city engineer, take the first 5 or 4, whatever it is here.
Thank you, Mr. Lash.
Afternoon. I'll start with number 42, the airport. So this is for our general consulting services for our airport consultant to do basically non-project work at the airport. And then we have a number of projects following after that. Number 43 is our fuel farm replacement. We're currently after an ODOT grant for that. If we get that grant, which we'll find out the end of this month, we'll go ahead and do that project. If not, we'll probably do it in 2027. The airport taxi B decoupling is basically an old taxiway that ran north-south, but it's still hooked into the runway, so FAA has been after us to basically decouple and remove part of that taxiway B. The remarking runway 725, so this runway was built in 2020, so this is basically to redo the pavement markings on that. These last 2 projects are 95% ODOT funded, by the way. The snow removal equipment, that's for delivery in 2027. It's an FAA grant, and then ODOT is actually picking up the remainder of the share. So that's a new piece of equipment that has a broom and a plow on it. And then airport, the taxiway P rehab, that's our main parallel taxiway, runs east-west on the north side of the runway. You can maybe see in that picture. But that's to basically rehab, resurface, and do pavement repairs of that runway. That construction will take place in 2027. And then I'll just address my last one is the Canal Park Stadium improvements. The city owns the stadium, so this year we're looking at doing roof replacement. Those are all, original roofs, so it's time to basically do the replacement on those. All right. Any questions on those for me?
I don't see any.
All right, thank you.
Oh, Bruce
Yeah.
Bolden has a question.
So back to the airport farm, fuel farm replacement. You said the grant, if the grant doesn't come in, you're not going to do it. So is there alternate, I'm sure
Well,
you
we would
probably have alternate plans of that money if it doesn't go, right?
Well, we would reapply for the grant next year.
Right.
And then, but this year, yeah, it's just income tax.
700,000, would that just go to another project? I'm sure you'd probably put that in there.
Yeah.
If it's dumped back in the budget, I'm going after it, okay?
Correct. Right. It's probably GO, actually. I don't know, but. Is it IT? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, just wondered.
Very good, thank you. I think Bruce stated what all of us were thinking and said it out loud. Okay, public facilities, I believe that we're under Cascade Parking Deck Rehabilitation.
So this is our grant we received, and then we are doing, this is a continuation, finishing up. If you've gone by the Mill Street entrance, you've seen them working there most of the winter. They will be finishing up in June with this project. So this is the money we received from the state. The next one, number 50, Central Services Vehicle Lift Replacement. We have 9 lifts that were not in compliance, safety issues. So last year we did 4, and this year we'll do the remaining 5. So I'll be in compliance. The Lock 2 area, this is a partnership with Ohio and Erie Canal, Akron Children's Hospital, the Rubber Ducks. These are improvements. We have committed funds to put that plan together, and it's still a little bit early to, but to President Somerville, we are looking, when we do a park like this, long-term maintenance. So we're hoping to partner with somebody of that long-term maintenance, or how can we, to build these things, how are we going to maintain them? So that's part of this analysis that we're doing for Lock 2. Morley Parking Deck, you probably saw in this last year, we did a design. Construction will start this year. It's a total replacement of the sprinkler system in the Morley parking garage. Municipal building improvements, this is just miscellaneous improvements in this building. Unfortunately, last year we did have a fire in the EOC room. This year we had some structural failures of one of our ceilings on the 8th floor. That's been demoed, and we're starting to put that back. So this is a placeholder, but these are funds that we'll be reinvesting into this building.
Now, we'd like to see new paneling in our conference room.
Mahogany, okay, or?
Just the cheap gypsum board or whatever you guys call it, you engineers. Just whatever. We've been asking for a while. Thank you.
Number 54, Musto Store and house improvements. We have damaged siding. This is for exterior paint, tuck pointing. Obviously, we need to stop the water from coming in to preserve that building. Municipal building, fire alarm. This is a fire panel upgrade to the system out at Municipal Service Center. Municipal Service Garage A and B. These are just ongoing insulation, steel coating beams. We're trying to extend the life of these buildings as long as we can. Next is the MSC improvements, Public Works. These funds will be used for the rest of the security upgrades. Now that we've got lockable doors on all the buildings, and to replace some of the HVAC equipment in that building. Number 58 on page 17, parking deck upgrades. We started in Cascade. We're probably 80% done. We want to keep working through the process of upgrading our parking decks to LED lighting. Obviously, when you have underground decks, the lights need to stay on all the time. We are looking at some controls on there, so on those lower levels, as there are occupancy or cars or people, then the lights will go to a higher level or come on. Not totally dark, we would never have that, but some would come on and off, so to strive to save electricity.
Yeah.
And then
Fran Wilson has a question.
Oh.
Sorry to interrupt. I wanted to, on the previous page in the counterpart from earlier December, the budget that was, this budget that was presented to the commission, the planning commission, it had on the previous page $290K for Fire Station 12. I don't know, it was removed and it's not in this copy now. I just wanted to ask about that.
I believe that was budgeting for the demolition of that, and right now we're trying to offer that for sale, for reuse by a private entity.
Okay, understood.
There is an
Bruce
RFP
Bolden.
out there for it, and people have submitted proposals for that to develop it, private individuals. So it's a really good thing.
Very good. Okay. Mr. Ludlow, Chris Ludlow?
I think Progress Through Preservation is a house that we own out on West Market in White Pond. We're going to replace the roof this year. Next, number 60, Salt storage construction, 2 salt domes, one at the West Depot out there on Copley Road, and the other one at the Municipal Service Center. I think both structures, as you drove by them, have tarps on the roofs. So we are going to put up 2 new structures, and they're going to match kind of what you see. We have one now out at Copley Road where we have the concrete blocks, and then you see the fabric dome over the top. So next is the Stubbs building improvements. This year, we are going to replace the riser for the HVAC system. It's had numerous leaks, and we've had to shut the system down and patchwork, so we're going to put a brand-new riser in there, and then the elevators, the modernization, the design is done, and we're getting ready to bid that project to replace those elevators in Stubbs. And then some of these funds will be used to start the design of the rehab of the entire building.
Thank you. Question, ASC, what is that? What's that funding source, and how much is in that fund?
Akron Safety Center, that's an Akron Safety Center fund.
Right. So where's the income generated, and
So
how much is in there?
that was the money that, it was originally issue 4 money or IT4 money.
Yes.
That was set up in the Akron Safety Center Fund. We have since spent that down. That is pretty much the remaining balance in the fund.
Okay,
So that will be utilized to do the elevators and the riser.
Great. Perfect, thank you. Chris Luddle, shoot, I apologize, I'm beginning to get a headache here. What was my question? Safety center. I may have to come back to it.
That's fine.
I got it. So I understand there's some kind of agreement. You had mentioned the HVAC is on the roof there, and that's partnered with the county, correct? Or part of that structure is for the county building? Or?
The riser feeds their system and ours.
Okay.
And sometimes, obviously when we shut the riser down, they don't have no heat like we have no heat. So
Yes.
we're looking at a project, can we separate that off to, if we wanted to, let's say, raise the temperature or lower the temperature in one half, it wouldn't affect the other half, okay?
Okay.
So that's what we're looking at to do, is separate those utilities so they're independent of each other.
Okay, gotcha. Very good. Fran Wilson.
Hi. And just for clarity, I have a couple questions, if that's okay. I'll try to be quick. Just for clarity, this is the police headquarters rehabilitation of Stubbs, right?
Correct.
I don't know if it would be possible to put in the line item that it's for the police headquarters, just for, clarity for the public. I did notice, just, my first question, I did notice between the commission's budget and this budget, there was a $2 million increase. I don't know if there's a good explanation of it. It seems to come from general obligation, I think, which is debt, correct?
Between Planning Commission at the end of the year, that's when the mayor announced the decision to move forward with Stubbs as the police headquarters. So that $2 million is to allocate for the first phase of design.
Okay, so my understanding is that's general obligation debt, so we've added
Correct.
a priority for $2 million of debt for the police headquarters?
Correct.
Okay, I understand. One other quick, if I may, Chair. There was $1.8 million for elevator repairs in 2025. Is any of that being rolled over now for elevator repairs, or is this a new allocation of funds?
We would have to go back and look at the request. I can get back to you next week.
Steve Fricker has.
Yeah, so it was all rolled over. So that was all originally budgeted out of the Akron Safety Center Fund. We did not do, obviously, the elevator project in Stubbs, as we were still trying to determine what the final site was going to be, for the police station. So, once that determination was made, now we're going to move forward with that project.
Okay, I appreciate it. I don't know if I could ask one quick other one.
Sure.
Thank you, Chair. Do we have an estimate of the total expected expenditures projected for the police headquarters?
I think that's what Mr. Luddle was
That's what we're
referring to.
working through right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
It sounds like you're developing the
Yeah,
plan.
we have
the
to
overall.
develop a plan. We've gone through different iterations with different buildings, but we are still going back with the staff and the Akron, the department on what everything's got to be in here and how do we program it. So until we get that design, we haven't come up with a budget yet.
Okay, thank you.
Chris, the elevator, it says elevator modernization.
Basically what we did here in this building, you know, where you put all new hardware, all new doors, mechanisms, you know, we're not going to tear out the whole elevator. It's basically everything gets new, all new electronics.
Okay,
And
pumps and
I mean,
whatever,
all of us,
all the
well,
stuff.
some of us remember this. It was a kind of a crapshoot to get on the elevator. Should I take the steps? And that's what they've been dealing with over there for a long time. So when we modernize these, then you get, you know, everything works in sync.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
it's basically having a brand new elevator without
And it's
fully tearing out.
primarily the mechanicals.
Yes,
portion.
everything.
That's what.
Yep.
Very good, thank you. Are we good? We're good. We can now move on to 18, I believe.
Yep, that's correct.
Just called miscellaneous.
Yes, miscellaneous, and Helen Tomic and I will be presenting this, and it's incorporates a lot of different spending in a lot of different areas, projected spending in a lot of different areas. Much of it has to do with public safety. So I'll begin with number 62. We have city-owned oil and gas wells that are no longer producing, and so we're making the investments necessary to discontinue their operation. Debt service. You know, when we invest general obligation debt, then it rolls into this. So this is our annual payments to bring that debt down. Downtown beautification, $10,000. Equipment replacement. We'll be replacing vehicles for the fire department, $850,000. And the $400,000 for police vehicles, and then $4,075,000 for replacement of public works vehicles, snow and ice fleet, trucks, plows, et cetera.
Excuse me, the debt service piece, where were we at last year on that?
I believe it was closer to 39 million. I will check.
Trying to find it.
38,950,000. So,
Okay.
yes.
Close close enough. Very good, I apologize.
The fire computer-aided dispatch system, $193,000. Fire department share of the combined communication center, $188,000. Improvements to the various fire facilities across the city, $255,000. Replacement of various pieces of EMS equipment that have reached the end of their useful life, $525,000. Ongoing support and maintenance of critical software systems for the fire department, $210,000.
If I could step back, you mentioned 425 for the fire piece, line item 71, is that right?
525.
Okay, thank you, I just.
Nope, yep.
All right, cool, thank you.
Let's see, the annual program to replace fire protective clothing and equipment, $200,000. The debt service on the new fire stations, the 3 fire stations, $2 million there. And then investments in the APD training facility and cover the cost of the APD Basic Academy, including recruitment expenses, range expenses, facilities expenses, $453,000. Oh, nope, I jumped down a line, excuse me, $536,000. And then the police body worn cameras contract, annual contract, $453,000.
So I will.
Does that,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I was going to ask a question. Please go ahead.
I was gonna
I saw the
I was
answer
gonna
in the.
continue, okay.
Please.
So moving on, Mr. Julian mentioned the fire share of the CAD system. Line item number 77 is the police share of the CAD system. This is a multi-year contract with the county that is about $358,000 of issue 4 money. We also have a joint sharing of costs for the combined communication center. For the police department, their share is $348,000. In 2020.
Question, Fran Wilson?
I just have a quick question about 76 and 77. These are both up from last year. I don't know, maybe there's different program additions. 76 is up 60K and 77 is up 50K.
So these are all contracts, and every year, I don't know if this is year one of a contract or year two, but they are incremented with increases every year. They don't stay flat.
Okay, would it be possible to get a hold of these contracts?
Okay.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you. You can supply that for council. Thank you.
So line item number 79 is for the Dan Street Training Facility. They are in dire need of HVAC improvements along with a roof. We have applied for a grant with the state for $1.1 million. Hopefully we'll receive that, and then we will be replacing the HVAC system and repairs to the roof. Line item number 80 is police gear and equipment replacement. This is looking at a replacement of their police gear, body armor, other equipment, along with the patrol long gun program. That's looking at about $255,000 for 2026. And finally, line item number 87 is the police management software hardware system. This is for 2026, $664,000.
Eric Garrett.
Thank you. As it relates to item 80, have further discussion as to that budget for that particular item. Is this just to purchase $255,000 worth of long guns for patrol officers?
It is for police gear, along with body armor and other equipment in addition to the long guns.
I'd like to have a conversation about that, but that's for another time. Thank you.
It doesn't have to be. It can be right now. That's what we're here for. So are you curious what the breakdown of the expenses are going to be?
Absolutely, please.
You can ask that.
Yeah, thanks.
We can get that for you. I don't have those.
Good. Thank you.
You
I don't have them right now.
Yeah, she's going to get that information to us, what the breakdown of the expenses are, because that says 255 or 35. Body armor, police gear, and other equipment. So, very good. Yes, Fran Wilson.
Yes, itemized for sure. I noticed that there's a $168,000 increase from last year, so I'm assuming that that's the long gun, but I would love to see a breakdown of the items. Thank you. And I know, there is significant community concern around this project. I just want to highlight that, be blind not to. There's a Beacon Journal article about the program. I have concerns. I would love to talk to anybody about it. Thank you.
Well, I would guess, and I'll verify that at this moment, we're going to see legislation come in for that expenditure.
Absolutely. Each and every one of these items.
Yes, absolutely. I
legislation
knew
will
the
be
answer,
coming in.
but yeah. So whenever the long gun purchase occurs, assuming it's over a certain threshold, is that 50 now?
Correct.
50,000, it comes to us. So
yes,
we'll see it.
Thank you. Yeah, I just, we're giving pre-approval technically.
Absolutely.
When we pass the
No,
budget,
no.
And they could not come before us technically. So
well,
technically
I think they almost have, well, you
This
have
is a
to.
resolution.
Yeah,
This budget
yeah,
is a
yeah.
resolution.
It's just a budget, yeah, so. But no, this is where we're able to communicate our concerns, so it's good conversation. That's why we're here.
Excuse me, Chair.
Yes,
But
Eric,
all of
Eric?
this will come back before us. This won't be something that's just automatically sent through. This will come back before us.
Yes, everything over $50,000, we're going to put eyes on again via legislation, and it'll be more specific in that way. Yep. Good. Any other questions? Nope.
Moving on to page 20, the police taser replacement program. This is an annual replacement program of tasers for our police department, looking at $291,000 in 2026. For the next three line items, deal with traffic. Annually, our traffic department goes out and inspects our intersection infrastructure. And based on those inspections, they do replace structures that are functioning poorly. So that's about $100,000 in 2026. There are also do annual inspections of our street signals, and if needed, those are replaced. That's at $35,000. And finally, for traffic miscellaneous, looking at the replacement of traffic control electronic equipment, that may include maintaining existing infrastructure or implementing improvements to enhance the life of other equipment replacement. And that is at $120,000.
Any traffic questions? I have one. So what's the deal with the, I know it was a court thing, but we were discussing earlier, actually, with regards to our surveillance, for lack of a better term, security, speed cameras in school zones. I assume that went to court and we lost. Is that it? Speed cameras? We don't really have them in school zones, do we? Or at least I haven't gotten a ticket this year. I used to give them every once in a while. I'm not going to lie.
So that is something that we are looking at due to the changes in the state law in terms of we would have to re-engage another vendor to do what was done the last. We have not operated the program since I think 2020, either 2020 or 2021.
Yeah,
it's been a while.
So
yeah.
legally, we can do that?
You can do that. There are parameters around it, and the state still has, I think, to the extent you collect school zone fines, they reduce your local government fund revenues. Well, hold on. So they reduce local government funds by that amount and give you a separate distribution that has to be used for, essentially for us, it would be for child safety. So that is, what they were doing towards, we still had some residual revenues that were coming in under that program, so they would basically reduce our local government fund, give us a separate distribution that was equal to that amount, but it had to go into our child safety fund instead of our general fund.
So in essence, those fines, we would be reduced, but then again, we would make it up on the other side, on the...
Correct, yes.
So
So we can use those funds both for the SROs and for school crossing guards. So both of which, obviously we have police officers that are charged to the general fund, and our crossing guards are charged to the general fund. So it's still a savings to the general fund.
Okay.
Regardless of whether or not the local government fund is deposited in the general fund or in the child safety fund.
No, but they're not really taking it. We're getting it back, right? We're getting it back from another.
So I know
the thing of it is it's not great, but then again, the intent there is, to make it safer for our children to cross streets. At the end of the day, and I know our friends in the state, they have their ideas of how they want us to operate, but yeah, you said that you all are working on that?
We are looking at it, so, there is some functionality that has to be built into the new Tyler software in order to accommodate that, because all the cases now are, municipal court cases as opposed to having a civilian, arbitrator, or I forget what we called it, but.
Oh, I got you. In
Right,
terms of
yeah.
the way we handle
Correct.
the appeal process.
Right.
Okay, well, there sounds like a lot of moving parts. I would love to be able to find a little bit of money to help out in terms of this, because I think it's that important that if they're going to rate our funds, obviously, but it sounds like we would be getting it on the other side, getting it back.
That is my understanding, yes. And that is
So
what
far,
happened.
so far.
Yeah, that is what happened when we did have some residual collections coming in even after we had shut down, the program, during COVID.
Yeah, no, I just thought it was a robust and good program, and you hear from time to time how our friends in other areas are struggling with this, but then again, the state wants to control a lot. So I think we should have further discussion on that, because I think it's a good program. I regress, or not regress, but digress.
Tree planting, Mr. Luddle's going to cover that.
So, obviously, still on page 20, number 86, tree planting. This is our annual program. With this funding, we anticipate planting about 1,800 new trees on city property, whether they're lawn strip trees or in our parks, which is a big help, not only reducing stormwater issues, but also helping with, you know, the heat sink and providing more shade to these areas. Next is our tree removal. This is our annual removal of dead and diseased trees throughout the city. After that is our tree trimming citywide. This is something that we've, you know, our arborists, now that we have 2.5, John Malish is still our bureau manager, but he's still an arborist, how important this is to have a robust tree trimming to extend the life of the trees we own, okay? So that's what that one is for.
Good.
I'll turn it back over to Mr. Julian and Helen.
So the final line item in miscellaneous is the Young's Restaurant site improvements. Young's Restaurant was torn down 10, 15 years ago, maybe 20 years ago.
Been a while.
That is prime development land. We are looking at issuing an RFP, but before we do that, we feel that we need to do a study, a hydraulic study, to make sure, you know, what that would look with water and elevations. So we are budgeting $60,000 in 2026 to do those improvements before we move forward with that site for redevelopment.
That's cool. Good. Housing and community development?
So as we move into the housing and community development section, the last section, I would just point out that you know, this is the vast majority of these projects and programs are funded through community development dollars through the federal government. So in many ways, these are placeholders and projections based upon assumptions of stable funding, which is a heck of an assumption to make. And so, you know, we will know a lot more in the second quarter when federal budget process moves its way forward, and we'll get a much clearer picture at that point. And of course, we'll come back with the consolidated plan update, which we have to do every year for HUD, and that'll have a lot more specificity at that point. So with that, moving into number 90, acquisition, relocation, clearance. We have a line item here for the clearance of dilapidated structures, acquisition of vacant lots that are have potential redevelopment potential, blight removal opportunities, and land assembly opportunities to assist redevelopment. Environmental reviews we provide as a service to one of our key partners at AMHA. Environmental reviews when they have properties that they're either investing in or divesting of, and so that allows them to you know, expedite that process.
Are we reimbursed on that piece?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. It's just because we have the
We have
expertise.
the expertise,
Yeah.
exactly. Affordable housing development, so we have matching funds where we make some investments in typically low-income housing tax credit projects there. Turning the page, 93. We have allocated $500,000 this year for comprehensive planning, citywide comprehensive planning. One thing I'll point out here is, you know, that there's a kind of an emerging train of thought as it relates to housing at the federal level and also at the state level, where, you know, those entitlement budgets have been, in the past, have been formula-driven, and there's an assessment of how much money a city is going to get in their CD budget in a given year based upon factors like poverty, population shifts, different factors like that. And so one of the things that it emerged quite clearly in a bill that passed the Senate in late October called the Road to Housing Act, where there's going to be both incentives and evaluations based upon the recipient community's actions to address obstacles to the production of housing. And so they want to see, this bill is very clear, they want to see cities that are updating, modernizing their zoning codes, their building codes to a certain degree, figuring out other ways that they can get things going instead of just having that blanket, formula approach. So I think it's important that we get ahead of that.
Very good. I'd like some information on that for all of council so we can take a look at that. Is there any articles or any?
About the Road to Housing Act in particular?
Yeah, in particular,
I have a two-pager I created for the mayor. I'll share that with everyone.
Thank you.
Yep. Moving on to number 94, demolition. Of course, we still have a overhang of vacant and abandoned buildings around the city, and so we have $400,000 allocated for that. Interbelt Master Plan implementation, we've set aside $500,000 for investments in and around the Interbelt, particularly looking at some opportunities to beautify the section that's been decommissioned. But we will, we haven't decided anything yet. We'll do community engagement and work with folks to kind of get an idea of what some of those things might be. Moving on, 96, new housing construction, additional investment in affordable housing projects. Again, some of this is money that we're spending last year's dollars, and some of it is projection of that we're going to receive money. One of the things that we've had to change is that in the past, when we felt like there was a stable federal budget allocation process, we would allocate 2 or 3 years, to a project out of 2 or 3 years of budget and spread it out. Well, we can't do that anymore because we don't know what 26 is going to hold. We don't know what 27. And so we're making smaller investments necessarily because we can't commit to $1 million over 3 years. But we're doing the best that we can with that. And we just released RFPs, and actually the first one is due next week.
Bruce Bolden.
Are these focused on single-family houses? Are they multi-units, apartments? Is it a mix? It can be whatever somebody
It can be
comes
either.
up with?
Yep, it can be either. Yep.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
So moving on to number 97, homeless shelter. This is our anticipated annual allocation of Emergency Solutions Grant Program to support our emergency shelters in 2026. Line item number 98 is the Minor Home Repair Program. This is a partnership with Rebuilding Together to provide repairs to low-income, elderly, or handicapped homeowners. Those repairs are usually below $5,000. We also asked Rebuilding Together to set aside $50,000 for the fall when folks are turning on their furnaces in case they need repairs or replacement. Rebuilding Together can do that for us. The Public Facilities Improvement Program is at $150,000. This is anticipation of any park improvements and/or splash pads. We're still looking at that to see what we're going to do in 2026, again, depending on how much money we received in Community Development Block Grant funds.
Should that be under rec? Parks?
We put it here because it is community development and it's CD funded, so we put it in this line item. But we can reconsider that for next year.
And not all of those investments that are made under that line item go into a park. So there could be other public space improvements.
Okay.
Next line item is Summit Lake infill housing. We issued an RFP for the construction of new housing in Summit Lake. We are in the process of reviewing those and selecting a developer, so we're allocating approximately $350,000 for that. Once that recommendation is made, we will be taking that to City Council as well. Community Gardens is ongoing support of Let's Grow Akron for the Akron Grows program, community gardens throughout the city. Community Services Program. This is services that focus on infant mortality, public safety, and the judicial system, financial empowerment, and information referral. We actually have issued the RFPs in the fourth quarter of 2025. We are in the process of reviewing those, and that should be coming to council in the next 2 or 3 weeks. Financial and, community services, fair housing, ongoing support for the Fair Housing Contact Service, continuing to do the work that they do. That too will be coming to council in the next couple of weeks. Financial Empowerment Centers is ongoing support for United Way and the Financial Empowerment Center that they run for us. That's at $200,000. That too will be coming to City Council in the next couple of weeks. And finally, the Neighborhood Revitalization and Sustainability Program. This is primarily to support our rehabilitation program. Our rehab staff runs a lead program that they were awarded in late 2024. I believe that's a 4-year program. So we are looking at lead dollars, healthy home dollars, and then CDBG dollars are used as match for that program. And I believe that wraps up our presentation.
Very good. Any questions, Fran Wilson? And then Linda Mobian.
Thank you, Chair. I know we've spoke a little bit about this, and I've spoken with a couple admin, but item 97, the homeless shelter allocation for this year is $500K, and for the last 3 years, we've had it at $568. I know a lot of that is, if not all, is federal funds. I would just like to see if the administration and council would advocate to fill the $68,000 gap so that we're supporting our unhoused folks. You know, 3 stats are really important when it comes to homelessness here in Akron, Ohio, that are recent is over the last couple years, we've had about a 300% increase in our homeless population. 1 out of 5 APS students are designated as homeless, and 50% of homeless people in Summit County are Black or African American, and only 15% in Summit County, the population is Black or African American. So there's obviously some inequity issues. There's, you know, it's hitting lots of different populations. I would hate to see us take this, you know, $68,000 decrease this year. I know the mayor visited the emergency overnight shelter last year. I worked at the emergency overnight shelter last year. It's a really important thing that we need to be supporting. So I just want to advocate for that, and if anybody wants to talk to that, please reach out to me. My hope is that the administration would be down to finding a solution for that. I just wanted to advocate for that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Linda Mobian.
Yeah, I have 2 questions. The first one has to do with the home repair 2.0. Is that reflected in here somewhere?
It is not. That is funded through ARPA. All of those dollars have been committed and allocated to our partners, so it is not reflected in here.
So the wrap-up is the end of this year?
Correct.
And we'll get a report?
Yes, we do plan on providing a full comprehensive report for council's review.
At some point, you don't know when?
We actually probably, I would say probably sometime within the first quarter.
Okay, thank you very much. The second question I have has to do with the infant mortality. Can you talk about how that's reflected in this amount of the budget? Because we know that it's going up in those zip codes that we've been monitoring.
So I can just, we did receive a couple of applications regarding that. That will be coming to council. Like I said, in the next couple of weeks, I can get that data. I can get additional data for you at that time.
Okay, thank you very much.
Tina Boyes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just had a question about items 90 and 94. Wanted to find out kind of what the difference is here. I think I know now that I'm thinking about it, but you know, I noticed in acquisition, relocation, and clearance, the mention of clearance of dilapidated structures, which appears to be demolition as well. Is that correct?
So for 90, that is an instance where, if needed, we go in, we acquire the property, we relocate the folks that are residing there, and then we demolish that property that we have acquired. For 94, that is the waiver demolition program, so that's if a homeowner owns a property that is severely dilapidated, we go in and we tear it down for them, but they maintain ownership of the property.
I got it. Okay, so the mention of to assist nonprofits and remove neighborhood blight, that makes a little more sense. Do we have any specific properties in mind for that? How do we go about, ascertaining which things we find priorities? Do people reach out to you?
So right now, we don't have, I believe we do not have anything lined up.
Okay.
But this is a line item that we maintain in the consolidated plan in case something does come up, because if it does come up and it's not in our budget, we can't do it.
Got it. Thank you.
Eric Garrett?
Thank you, Chair. Last year, there was budgeted $150,000 for tiny homes. This year, I don't see it in the actual budget. And so my concern is, after visiting the National League of Cities and discussing it with other members from other cities, how this was needed and impactful in their community. A lot of times, individuals come home from incarceration, a single individual without a place to stay. They're forced to move in with a girlfriend or a family member. Now they're violating a parole or probation. I know these tiny homes may not bring a lot of income in for the community, or it may not be like something that's going to be like majorly an investment to be able to be a profitable entity. But having these tiny homes would mean the world, would change the incarceration rate. It would really help the community if these tiny homes were given a chance, like we budgeted for last year, but then they just fell through the cracks. I really would like to see a portion of the budget where tiny homes are brought back in. We've had several constituents throughout, I know Ward 5, and a few other folks have reached out about tiny homes. How can we make something like that happen, please?
So there's a couple responses there. First of all, we don't build houses. And so what we do when we have community development dollars is facilitate organizations that have that capacity to build and manage properties, provide the subsidy necessary in order for that to be successful. And that's particularly important, when we have populations that need wraparound services. And so we just did release an RFP right before Christmas, with up to $2 million available for specifically for populations that have experienced homelessness, those who are vulnerable to that, are at risk of homelessness, or individuals fleeing domestic violence. And it said in the RFP, we encourage innovative approaches to that provision of housing. So if there is someone there who has the ability to scope a project that makes sense utilizing the tiny home model, we'd welcome that, and we would take a good hard look at that when we got a response. But the ability to make that happen has to lie with the developer and with the affordable housing provider and the property manager.
Follow up. I think you mentioned that would make sense. It doesn't make sense for an individual to come home from incarceration and not have a place to stay because individuals wants to use the $2 million for a 3-bedroom, or it makes sense for them to use it for a 2-bedroom. It makes sense for us to look out for the least of these, the people coming home from incarceration with a tiny home. I know it is not going to be a majorly profitable entity, but to give these young men and women who are coming home from incarceration, to take it out from the last budget that we approved for $150,000, to not include it, and to suggest that it doesn't make sense, it's like really hard. To not think of these individuals. with this tiny home piece, I think is hurtful. And there's a lot of individuals that are interested in just the tiny home portion. They may not be able to qualify for the big project, but a smaller tiny home project in Ward 5, in Ward 3, in these smaller areas, I think would be majorly impactful.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Linda Mobian.
You know, whether we do it for those that are returning citizens, I've suggested too that we need to have that as part of our continuum of housing options. And there are communities all across this country that are experimenting with tiny homes. And we need to look at that. I think it's something that is, you know, homeless folks, whether they are coming from incarceration or not, those individuals need to be considered, because everybody doesn't want to go to a group home, everybody doesn't want to go to an apartment building. Some people should live in some kind of isolation, and that would provide that. So we need to really consider that as part of the continuum of options that we provide. And it could be included in whatever your request for proposal that you put out, that, you know, tiny homes is one of the options that we would love for someone to consider or experiment with. Because I know that other cities and states across the nation are doing it.
Very good. Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Anybody? Tiny or otherwise? Very good. With that, we are adjourned. Thank you all very much. Next week, we will not be meeting, but
Correct.
the following week, so
January
if I could
26th.
just have a minute here so everybody's up to date on where we go from here, please.
So on January 26th, we will have a public hearing to review the capital budget.
Thank you.
And then we will look on February 2nd to answer all of your questions. And February 9th is the day where we need to issue a substitute amendment.
Good.
And get that passed.
Thank you. Very good. Just want to make sure everybody knew what the plan was.
Thank you.
Thank you. I didn't.
Council will meet in special session at 5 o'clock. Thank you.